to do a tutorial using an affordable eyeshadow palette. I just picked this up and it is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault palette called Dark Magic. This is only $15 and you can use the coupon at Ulta to get $3.50 off, which is pretty awesome. I do a lot of bright looks and I had this guy sitting here, but I think I'll wait to do a tutorial on that. Now, this is old news, but new to me. I was a little hesitant to buy any of the Vault palettes given that whole fiasco. So today we're just going to do eyes because my skin is freaking out due to wearing foundation more often and I use tap water to wash my face. So I'm going to prime my eyes and then zoom you in and we'll just get started. Oh, if you're wondering what eye primer I'm using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in Eden. I don't like any of the other ones. It has to be Eden. And yes, I always prime my eyes. I feel like eyeshadow does not work nearly as well without a primer. Okay, let's clean a brush. I need to clean my brushes. I'm gonna start with Poof just to kind of set my base. It definitely doesn't show up on my skin tone, but that's okay. I want to go in with this shade here, Busted. I'm putting it in my crease at this moment. Make sure not to pick up too much shadow or it'll get really dark really fast. So tap it off. Just lightly touch your brush in the shadow. It's easier to add more than it is to take it away. Now I'm going to take it up higher with these deep set eyes. Can't see my shadow if I don't. I didn't prime here, so it looks much darker. I honestly don't like doing makeup without a full face, but it is what it is. So I don't want it to be crazy dark all the way up, even though we are going for kind of a smoky look here. So I'm going to take more of Poof to blend out the edges. The key to every look is blending. Now I'm going to go with this shade here called Inside Job. And I'm just putting it on the bottom part of my crease and across the lid. You honestly can't tell the difference in these two colors once they're on. And I did clean my brush. It's kind of disappointing, honestly. Well, now my eyes just look like they're one color. That was not what I was going for. Okay, so now I'm going to dip into Potion to see if I can get some green, and I'm going to clean my brush again so there's no risk. I'm going to put this here on the edge of the blue. You know, I wanted like a bluey green look, and okay, so this is working nicely. That did give me some of the green I was looking for. Now I'm going to clean my brush again. I'm going to see if I can smoke it out with the shade Temptress. I can't tell if it has glitter in it. I think it does. So we'll see. Remember, it's easier to add than remove, so just lightly keep layering it rather than just putting way too much on, because then you ruin the whole look. So I just dabbed it on, blend it up into the crease and out. And if you need more, just dip back in. Don't try to pick too much up on your brush. Just lightly touch it, tap it off, and repeat. This look sure would be great with my liner. I really think this is supposed to be a navy. I thought it was black. I like it more being a navy than a black. She did a really good black in her original palette, so I'm glad she didn't do another one. I'm going in with the NYX Glitter Primer, as usual, and I'm just placing it all over the lid. And now I'm going to go in with this shade here called Trickery. I always like to apply with my finger, but feel free to use a brush. I really like this color. It's super pretty. Now I'm going to go back in and lightly dip into Temptress to blend the edges just a little so it's not so harsh. I'm also impressed. There hasn't been much fallout at all. Some of these darker palettes have a ton of fallout. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my handy shade brush. Clean. I need to wash my brushes. I'm going to, what am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna start with Potion. And just bring it down. Now let's go in with Busted. And finally, Inside Job. For my inner corner highlight, I'm gonna try Power Cut and see if I ruin the whole look. Let's try it with my pinky finger. Much messier, but it got the job done. Okay, so I'm going to do some tight lining and mascara. Going to use the MAC Eye Kohl and Smolder. I used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And here's a nice look at my eyes. I threw some eyebrows on. It's the Benefit Gimme Brow in shade 5. I don't know why I can't ever remember. This look would look a whole lot better with a full face. But, you know, gotta save my energy where I can. And my skin is a pure diva, so I have to listen to her. Just gonna go with a classic nude here. This is Clinique Tenderheart, which I don't think they make anymore. Okay, so here's the look. So there's a little edit to the video that I originally filmed regarding this palette because something changed after I was wearing it for a while. I have some notes here that I want to make sure I hit. So about 2 hours after I did this whole look that I'm showing you, I noticed that my left eye had creased and some of the eyeshadow had disappeared. I thought it was my fault and that I had kind of over blended, so I touched it up and decided to just go about my business. 4 hours after I touched it up, I went to take my makeup off and realized that both eyes had creased and the makeup was completely gone. I'll insert pictures so you can see what I'm talking about. I had clearly not over blended. I don't know what was happening. I've never had an eyeshadow do this. I used my normal primer. All the conditions were the same. And even if I don't use primer, I have shadows that last at least 12 hours. So I was really surprised to see this. I did notice that some of the shadows were a little harder to work with, but it wasn't a deal breaker for me. Anastasia Subculture has that problem too, where some of the shadows are patchy, so you just have to work with them a little differently. I used 6 different shades, so I used majority of the palette and I had to return it. I was really disappointed with how it performed despite it being gorgeous and very unique to the things that I own. I can't recommend anyone pick up any of the Vault palettes because I have heard the other palettes having the same issue. I just thought I'd give it a shot and see if I had different results, but I'm sad to say this was a big flop and I can't recommend this palette. Your touch